Greetings, hello, and welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. This is episode number 2. I'm ImperialJedi, and we are surviving Mars. What a great start we had, too. Definitely want to get the dome built early on in this episode. And I'm going to be a little bit more, I guess, preemptive with our minerals and resources and stuff. I think I was a bit too cavalier in the last episode, but we were having some fun, so I think that's okay. So we did unlock, or just not unlock, I guess we searched some new area around us, and we revealed a whole bunch of metal up here. So I'm going to send our rover over, and yeah, let's just start grabbing some of this. And then actually, I want to take a look at some of the buildings, maybe even just as they're being built. Oh, well, never mind. Where's our victim? Right there in the corner piece, of course, eh? Oh, not the corner. So let's get this guy turned off, and this one as well. I would argue that this is maybe too long of a stretch without a cable, without a switch, sorry. So let's drop another switch just right here in the middle. I do realize we are in a metal shortage, and this is a little bit irresponsible to keep spending like this, but I think that if we close this off, we actually lose power to that building there. But you can see, though, when we're cut off, we don't lose any electricity, so that's really handy. Of course, the downside is that we have no water being produced at this building here, but that's okay. This will be built soon. We can turn this back on. And presuming that we have a lot of metal in storage, this will be, fixed relatively quickly. I think we have just enough, but in the event that you don't have any metal, it's very, very good to have this stuff already built ahead of time, so you don't have to worry about, losing power, draining your batteries, not being able to get more metal, or whatever it takes. So in this game, it does definitely, it pushes you. You got to be 2 steps ahead. It's like chess almost, but chess against the planet. How do you beat a planet at chess? Who knows, right? Okay, let's get this guy moving somewhere. And I'm just going to scroll out, make sure we're still keeping up with our, I want to say, not research, what am I looking for? Like, the zones to search? The word is eluding me here, but our overhead probe, I wanted to scan those areas, that's what I'm trying to say. And then we're just kind of hunting for anomalies at this point, and anything that we can get just has like a research bonus. And I'd maybe like to get another sensor tower up here as well. Sensor towers, I don't think I explained in the last episode, and I just kind of based on the comments, I'll try and just do a little bit more explanation as to like why and how and what, I still plan on definitely doing those tutorial videos where I'll be like moving at a much slower pace and definitely explaining no resources, boo. But these guys here, they're pretty handy. So if I scroll out, what tower is that? Okay, so it's in this one here. All the tiles that are around it will get a faster scan from our overhead probe. So that's really handy. And I don't know what the range is. It might be that same one tile over, but this will show, say there's like a meteor storm or something happening right now, it'll kind of show where the impact zone is going to be. So if I maybe had a whole bunch of my drones and, or like, some of my rovers and stuff chilling in an impact zone, I could definitely move them out of the way. Buildings, not so much. Maybe I could blast off a rocket, right? But okay, well, while we're waiting for the metal to be accumulated, oh, let's send this back out. Oh, just never a dull moment, huh? Okay, so that's another one, no problem. So you can see right here, right, we're losing electricity. Close this off. No one's being affected. We're now losing no electricity. Fantastic. And let's go over here and we can open the other one back up now. But you can now see like why we're doing the double, triple, quadruple ways in. Because let's say I forgot about that, which I tend to do often. We're still getting, buildings being produced and powered and whatnot. Whereas if I had just left this and say these guys weren't producing anything, that could be bad in the long run. So I think we're okay for everything. Like our grid is good. Like our, our reserves are fantastic. You can see pretty much every tower is full, so. Okay. Can I send a no, I cannot. All right, well, I want to get some fuel going just while this is accumulating. That was my thought earlier that I almost got interrupted on. So same idea. I'm going to have our fuel be able to draw from the pipes on 2 different sides. And if this one does get cut off, I really don't think it's the end of the world. Because the way we're going to be setting up our economy, we're probably only going to have like 1 rocket moving at a time. Awesome, let's get our valves in here. But it's nice to get maybe just a little bit of fuel kind of made and get a little head start now. Generally, I'll let the drones kind of just pick and choose which rocket to refuel first. And we'll notice that, you know, one of them will eventually be full. And whichever one has the most amount of fuel, I'll pick that one for the first one to export. And then what I'll do with the other rockets is I'll turn off the, you know, the allow for bid. So let's say this one here is the full one. I wanted only exports to go there. I'll just turn these two off. I could change priority too, if I wanted to, as a different option. And that would also ensure that fuel would go here first. But, you know, less stuff for us to worry about, right? Let the drones and the AI choose for us. All right, how's progress? We got any more metal? We're getting close. Okay. Be hearing that milestone unlocked chant very soon. Let's get this back out here for some more metal. I wish there was a little bit more of a faster way to automate this. You can get lucky, and if there's like a really, really big deposit, it'll kind of do, you know, a little bit of the ones in the area, and it'll go back and forth for it. But generally speaking, you got to keep an eye on that. Same with the your Explorer rover. Get that ready for hopefully something over on this side to be unlocked. Any other metal? Just nope, not yet. Generally speaking, I usually have a little bit more metal just in and around my my starting area. So I think that's maybe why I'm used to a little bit of a faster pace, I guess, for building. But again, I don't think we can sound any alarm bells or anything. I think we're okay. All right, let's take a look at our research. See if anything new and cool has been unlocked. Nothing really. Still working away at that. So researching, I mean, does take a while, right? Definitely a long time here. And if we wanted to, we could definitely outsource it eventually, but we just don't have the money yet. And we're going to be hopefully getting to a point where we're getting some boosts. So we can build a research lab inside one of the domes eventually. And hopefully some more of this kind of stuff will help, right? But early on, it's a pretty slow grind. Generally speaking, I'm doing stuff that's extraordinarily like helpful to the early missions. So like here, for example, advanced Martian engines. This brings the fuel cost down to 40 when you want to send a rocket back. Unfortunately, the rockets that are already here, you know, they've got to be the 60, but just for future ones, so that's pretty handy. And then obviously this, you know, getting an extra 50% on water is pretty handy. It's also pretty good to unlock really early too. Just getting some more people down. Because the first dome, when it gets built, you'll see we just have, think of it as like a pie. And so in these little triangle pie segments, little pie pieces, we can only put so many buildings down, right? And housing definitely takes up a lot of space. So we want to be efficient. Going taller with our density is definitely a good approach too.
Resources are low.
Oh, we know this already. Thank you, though. And please find some metal for us. We have all these deep pockets of metal, but we don't have the technology yet to extract them, unfortunately. Oh, no, these ones we do. We just don't have the ones that are in red. But we need people for that first, so still kind of a mute point here. All right, well, let's scan the surface. Let's just use the old eyeballs here and see if there's maybe some metal that I missed. Otherwise, it'll just be a minute or so before another area is revealed, and then we can, you know, send our rover out. It's just, yeah, I've been spoiled on previous maps where there's just been so much metal. I have like hundreds of it in the beginning. I sometimes have to make like special little metal dumping zones. Not the case today, though. Do you know what, though? While we wait for this, I think we can just maybe sneak a peek at some of our buildings. Got some requests for that too. So the camera, just a little tidbit as well. It's a little awkward to get used to in the beginning. So what I'm doing, I guess for the majority of it now, is when I'm doing these kind of movements, I'm just holding down the middle mouse button. There's a cool meteor. So if you wanted to, you could scroll. It doesn't really work all that well, though. See, that just kind of brings me too far almost. So when I hold this in and then press W or the S key, that brings me up and down. And then you can also hold in the middle mouse button and rotate the mouse around to get this kind of action. Or you can press the button and then use Q and E. It's just a little bit weird because they go opposite directions from one another. Like the keyboard and the mouse are kind of inverted. So it takes a little bit of getting used to. And then when you do go out to this view, when I scroll back in, it resets my camera position. So normally I'm in this view just to kind of keep me from going crazy trying to find my camera spot again. But I like taking a look at these buildings. They're kind of fun. And this, I think, is a really cool building, just in general. Like the art department, they're pretty crafty. Guys goes and grinds out. And you can see we've been getting some pretty steady maintenance in and around here because the buildings are looking pretty clean. And then this will just go down on its own. You know, use up 2 metal when that happens. Automated totally right now. If we wanted to, though, we could have it be maintained a little bit early. So I guess maybe the red shows that it needs maintenance. Oh, current deterioration 100%. Yes, that's bad. That's bad. And this is kind of cool. The Moxie, it's like a set of lungs just pumping away. And I wish you could do, or I wish, sorry, there was a little bit of a better way to see if your water towers and these guys were full, like your little CO2 or air oxygen tank. I'm not really gifted with the words of speaking today. Yeah, see, I can't even get that sentence out. I think you know what I mean, though. The batteries, like I was saying, those ones will protrude out of the ground when they become charged. So you can see, here's one, totally out. And then when in doubt, you can always click on them and see if you know, it's full, or what your grid looks like, you know, capacity, that kind of stuff. So we got a lot of stored battery, right? And our demand is out, sorry, production's outperforming demand, so we're A-okay, surplus. That's why we're not building any more batteries or any more power. It would just be silly, a waste of maintenance, right? All right, for the love of all that's good and holy, please get this built. We just need a little bit more metal. Let's go find some now. Just need four more pieces. Oh, here we go. And also just a little asterisk to it all. I love the soundtrack so much. I think they did a really great job with that. Has that like retro futurism kind of feel to it. Oh, these teases. These rocks here. No, I don't think we have this area revealed yet. No. Nope. That's okay. Slow and steady wins this race. Don't want to get I want to say aqua dementia. What's the space version of that? Trying to wait for metal, right? What buildings are this? Oh, maintenance. Oh, it really is becoming a problem with our metal. That's no good.
Cable fault reported.
I think I jinxed it by touching this. Okay, let's get that that fixed. Where is that? Oh, it's right in there. Oh, and I have no... Oh, boy. Well, this is when things start falling apart. No, I think we're okay. I'm going to have to cut off a larger segment than I want to, unfortunately. But I wouldn't really say that over here is, you know, all that pivotal just yet. We'll wait for this metal to be brought in. I'm going to move the roving one a little bit further over. And this one should repair the dome right here. Or not the dome, sorry, the power leak. And hopefully put in some new switches too. And see if we can just send this back out. Like, metal is very, very precious right now. But I'm still, I mean, I'm not worried. I've seen worse. Oh, here we go. Oh, and look at this. There we go. All we do is weather this storm. That is quite a bit to get us going. Some more right there too. And look at that! All right, this is great. What a fast turnaround here. So the dome is now built. Fantastic. We've got our little life support services going in too. And we want to get some of these valves built. Actually, let's cool it on that until some more of the buildings are repaired and maintenance is done. And are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. Okay, let's bring this guy back with what he has right there. Let's charge the battery. There's no sense losing this out to out in the area. So let's unload our resources over here. Let's charge. Is there an anomaly we can go look at? There is indeed. And let's take a look at our pipe here. Okay. So we're gonna make sure that we're closing that one off, because that would still make its way in and around. We're still connected on the other side, so you can see we're losing air, if I can click on it. But then if we turn this one off, we're good. But you can see what I mean, though. If I didn't do that the proper way, there would still be water, air, and everything coming in through all the other... So it's very important to block up all of these with valves. Otherwise, you might run into some problems. And you can see when we're out of metals, you just can't make them. So it's just... This could be make or break right here. There we go, we're okay, though. I guess it's maybe me having to, like, you know, make the video and narrate and stuff too. I guess I pay a little bit more attention when I'm just by myself. Oh, why are you not charging, my friend? There we go. Just leave that for the moment. So when it comes to our dome, like I was saying before, think of this like our pie, right? So we can now start putting in the first few segments. I'm not going to fill the whole thing up, though, because we don't really have enough people to man basically all the stations. So let's start with our extractor. This requires people as well. And just kind of going back to my starting strategy. So the reason why I choose astrogeologist is we get one of these revealed in the very beginning. Most of the time, our very first starting map, or starting square, sorry, it'll be a revealed one that's really close to us. So we started here, I believe. Where did we start? Here, maybe? I don't know. We started one of these, and it was just like, yeah, maybe that one was the one there. So it was relatively close. We had a direction to move forward to. I think it's pretty handy. I choose Space Y as our corporation, or like our founding, or our, what did they sponsor? Yeah, sponsor, that's the word. I choose them for a couple of reasons. I guess one, because it's SpaceX, because of Elon. Awesome guy, awesome company. Ooh, meteor. And yeah, so Space Y, a little bit of a play on that. And I really like the fact that Space Y starts with 5 rockets. So if you guys saw in the beginning, I did immediately call for you know, a couple extra for backup type thing. And we're going to bring one more now for passenger, and that leaves us one extra for cargo. So this little safety net I think is great to have. We're going to be setting up, like I said, some exports, so we can quickly add to our funding, and we can bring stuff down. So let's say, you know, later on, if we just can't quite find any metal or anything, we could theoretically bring some back from Earth. It's heavy and expensive, so I'd rather not do that, but at least the option presents itself. Okay, back from our little lull moment here. I think we're back on the momentum train. So we'll continue to get this metal and everything into the base. We'll bring this guy back for some charging. See if we can get these fixed. Great. That one is done. Oop, I forgot to fix that before. And we'll just leave that be. So you can see this one right here, first one to be fueled up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn off exports to the others. So that guarantees that our exports go to this one. This one's pretty much ready to launch anyway, which is awesome. So if we do get anyone who's homesick or whatever, they'll pick that.
Research complete.
Just leave that be still. And yeah, let's get. Are we not producing enough power? Is that maybe our? Might need to put a little bit more in here. These things here, I usually keep them closed. If needs be, though, you can open them up and you'll get additional power that is produced. But it just lets more dust in, so the maintenance cost goes up. So I tend to keep these closed, just as kind of like a general FYI. All right. This is pushing our luck here. Okay, so we'll close that off. This one's already closed off. I don't remember why I did that, but I guess there was a power leak there. And you can see, again, I'm going to say this, I know I said this before, but it's good to have the double, triple ways in, because you can see I am forgetting sometimes. Okay, so let's bring this back. Nope, we're actually out of metal, that's why it's not being built. Okay, let's get some more. Keep that going. Some more research for us to uncover. And we'll ensure that we have our power situation sorted before we start bringing people in. But let's build a few of the buildings in the dome itself, or at least get those down. So what I want for starters are apartments. We can fit 24 people in here, so we'll be ready for our second shuttle, which is great. And then I want just a little bit of green space, and then kind of like a hospital, or like infirmary, I guess what they call it, yeah. So the hospital will lower the comfort requirements in order to for our people to have babies, and we definitely want to have some babies here. If we do end up getting babies on the surface, though, they won't live in the apartment. They actually have to live in a nursery. So we'll build that if one of them decides to get knocked up. Until then, though, we'll save the resources and not put one down. So let's use an alleyway here for some nice aesthetics, kind of facing our apartment. And we're going to give our people a little bit of a taste of home here. So a nice little lake, and then we'll put a small garden in too, so some trees and stuff. And then over here, we're going to put down our first of our farms. Hydroponic farm here, so that's cool. This is basically everything that I want. And with the 12 colonists that we have coming down, this is more than enough. Not only that, it's like, I think job-wise, this is really great, having, you know, just this with the rare metal extractor. Okay, so let's... Goodness gracious me. Let's close off the world here.
We have a water shortage.
Oh, do we now? There is no winning right now, is there? Goodness gracious me. Okay, let's open this up. Did that get fixed? It did. Great. And power-wise, can we open this up? Nope, that's the pipe valve. My other really big piece of advice for this game, too, is don't really build too quickly, you know, too fast or whatever. Or, yeah, in the beginning, don't expand too fast, because it's a lot to keep up with, and you can kind of see here, if you don't really have metal and resources and stuff, like, things will fall apart very, very fast. Like, we're already running into some problems here, right? These two need to be fixed. We're actually running a water deficit. I can't afford to put any more power generation in. So, learn from my mistakes, please. But I wouldn't say that we're on, like, you know, awesome meteor impact. I wouldn't say we're on a bad path or anything. I just might maybe need to be moving a little bit faster with this. Can we... Nope. Yeah, nope. Sometimes they're extractable. Okay, so our anomaly was analyzed. Great, so we can bring our drone back. See if we can get this one on the way. Life will be a lot easier when we start getting some metal extractors going, but we'll worry about that on our second load. Okay, so how are we doing for materials? So concrete and polymers, we should still be A-okay on. Yeah, 37. I mean, it's getting better. It's actually not all that bad. Let's try and move this in between and get that bridge going again between the zones here. That'll get some more metal, I think, moved as well. All right, let's right this ship. I think we're back on track here. So especially with that bridge acting, we'll get some metal going between all the areas. This one right here is basically full. That's great. So when we start getting some exports, we'll send that off. I'm probably going to send it off when we get at least 1/3 of it full, so about 10 or so. Frictionless composites, cool. Oh, neat. Wind turbine production increased by 100%. We could definitely use that. But right now, it's, you know, it's slow going, which is a-okay. Okay, yeah, not so bad. Yeah, like I said, right, we're back on track here. Okay, another area here for our tailings, dumping ground. This will be running out soon, and you can see concrete super abundant. So we'll probably put another one down later, but like we have so much, like we're totally okay. 277, yeah, that's no problem. So we'll probably end up saving the resources, and we'll disable this building, and we'll eventually do a salvage here. Until we research full, like, the decommission protocol, when you salvage a building, the shell of it still exists. So it's not really fully removable just yet, but it won't draw power or anything, and we can just bring some of the building materials back. So maybe to kind of keep that in mind when you're starting your base off, some stuff's going to be a little bit semi-permanent until you do some more research on mocks. Okay, I might even have our drone drop metal off at a different depot, maybe a little more centralized, because I do need these things fixed before we can bring some people in. I mean, really, the last thing you want is to have your first colonists come down, like your founders, and then have them all be homesick, you know, or really upset and just want to leave type thing, right? Like you want to keep as many of them as possible for as long as possible, and you want them to be happy and have kids. So let's bring our resources back to, say, this depot now. What's that? Just found 45 more metal. That's fantastic. And another area for us to check out. So you can see, if nothing else, the micro for this game, micromanaging, is definitely keeping you busy. So it might seem like there's lull moments, but you can totally, yeah, feel like you're busy around the clock here. Which I guess kind of ties into, let me say, not to expand too fast, right? Because then you might, I don't know, feel a little overwhelmed or whatever. Okay, so internal stuff is getting built pretty quickly here. This is great. I might be a little bit preemptive now, and I think I'm going to jump the gun and I'm... Oh, for goodness sakes. Nope, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to drop down, now that we have a little bit more metal, some more solar generators. And these guys here, the maintenance cost is metal. Now that we're starting to find some more, building our metal stockpiles up, I'm comfortable putting some more of these down. These guys here will charge the batteries, and then the grid will run off batteries. And I think I'm going to maybe toss down one wind turbine in here as well, just to be on its own, yeah, just with here. Because when it comes to priority, like, this is the priority, like the dome and these buildings here. Like, everything else can be cut off and, you know, removed and stripped down and salvaged or whatever. Like, keeping our people alive is basically priority number one. Drones can be replaced. Human lives are important.
Cable fault reported. We have a power shortage.
Okay. That's so funny. I think we went the first episode, just not even a single one. Now we're just around the clock, right? Okay, metal's being built up. That's great. Food. I remember we didn't actually bring that much. I was like, we don't have that much, but we didn't bring that much, so it's okay. Power. Okay, that's good. Moving in the right direction. And the water shortage should be fixed once the building down here... Oh, okay. Oh, you know what? I totally forgot. Since we added the fuel, that's where the extra water's going. Oh my goodness. I swear, it's like my first time playing. So, because we don't have another vaporator brought back from the from Earth, I'm going to expand just a little bit down here, and we'll start doing some water extraction. And because there's so much concrete, like, I don't really mind if we turn this into a water zone versus a concrete zone. Theoretically, what we could do is we could mine the concrete first to get it all taken out, and then we could do water over top. And the game physics allow for that. So let's use the area that has the switch, and let's double up where power will be able to come in from, just for our little area here. And then we'll probably end up putting down a maybe like a wind turbine or something over here too. So much just to get some people here, but we'll do it. We'll get them here. We'll have our overlap happen with the water tower. At this point, I don't necessarily think we actually need another water tower. When we start putting down some more of these over here, we'll want to ensure that water is getting stored. Just kind of going with my whole, you know, if we're cutting it off from, you know, pipes or valves or whatever, just to keep it efficient. But I think right now we do have enough water storage, and I'm going to try and just be a little bit playing it safe when it comes to maintenance costs here. So instead of spending that extra metal, let's start building up our metal here. In the long run, though, this is not necessarily the most efficient of approaches, but I think we'll make a little asterisk. And if you know the game has taught me anything, if Murphy's Law is a real thing, we'll have a pipe break right here for sure. Okay, a little bit more power. Put a wind turbine down here. Maybe in the corner post. Keep a lot of this area open just for water. As you can see, we can only place these guys down sort of in the range of the deposit, right? You can see right there.
Sector scanned. Anomaly found.
Excellent. So we found a lot of concrete in this one, which is okay. All right, I think we can now call for our passenger rocket, and then we'll just let it orbit until we cannot get anything done. My goodness, this game knows exactly what I'm up to. But no, we can keep it in orbit and not land it until we solve these problems here. All right, it's passenger rocket. If we want to, we can get a little bit specific on, you know, people and whatnot. I'm gonna let it just be, you know, a random 12. later on, we'll do some specialized rockets. We'll bring in, like, you know, doctors and scientists and that kind of stuff. But for the moment, we'll just, you know, whoever wants to come, they can come. Okay, so let's close this off. Close to this one. Just double check that. Excellence. Okay, so power shortage, I mean, it's not really the worst. So we gotta be kind of efficient here. Oh, no drones can make it over there, eh? Interesting. So what I'm, oh, you know why? Because power, that's why. Yeah, okay, so power's a little bit worse off than I thought. Something that I've noticed a lot of other people doing when they're starting off with this game is they're making like one giant area for like power production, one giant area for water. I very much so think you should be spreading it out. Just because with the number of cable faults that can just spontaneously happen, you really want to make sure that there's still... Because like, let's say for example, right, like this was the last, you know, drone thing we had, but there's no power going to it. I mean, or if we didn't have one of these guys here. So just, yeah, play it a little bit safer, I guess, right? Spread stuff around, make sure you have your valves. Just be prepared for the worst, I guess, right? And we'll take advantage of, you know, the daytime sunlight and we'll charge our batteries. So I think we're okay now. Alright, so this is almost ready. We have one rocket you can see here ready to blast back, so that's this guy right there. Oh, you know what's funny is I did not think that it was going to require the 40. That's interesting. I wonder if I can empty it. That might be a little bit of a waste of fuel, but I don't know here. Can I? Oh, no, I think it's just going to fill it up by default. Interesting. And I'm going to drop this one here pretty much over in this quadrant. Keep it close to the people. And they actually... Oh, for goodness sakes. Oh, it's our nighttime then, I guess, eh? But then, like, why does our... Yeah, I guess we're coming off the battery. Yeah, let's just open this up. Maybe open those up at night. Just keep an eye for dust storms. Let's bring this guy back. Get him charged. Get some more metal. What's our metal deposit? Oh, awesome. A little bit more than we thought over here. Okay, now let's land our rocket. Let's get our people in here. Get some jobs going. So I'd say we're cutting it a little bit close with everything, right? But I think we're okay. I think we're actually, yeah, this is a good start. So our colonists are here. We're in the founder stage. We have 10 souls to keep them happy. If we do that, we can start bringing some more colonists in. So let's put down our valves. Be prepared for the worst here. Let's bring power over to our extractor. And I'm going to open up a second shift on this. I'll go into a little bit more for this kind of stuff later on. I don't normally do 3 shifts. This will kind of strain your people in terms of like their mental health. People don't really like working at night. And there's a whole bunch of balance, but like basically mental health plays a huge role into to, like citizen happiness and stuff, which of course makes sense, right? Okay, so we're not going out without a fight here. I'm going to open up the other generator as well. I can remember what that was. Awesome. And has this been closed this entire time? Oops. I wonder we have a water shortage. Goodness gracious me. Close this off for this valve right here. Okay. I gotta do a better job paying attention to that. But even with me trying to sink the ship, we managed to do it. Right, okay. We're up and running. We got people here. And I think we actually have our economy technically going now too. Yes, we do. So this is going to be producing 2.2 resources per day, which will slowly make their way over to here. And when this is at least about a third of the way full, we'll send it off. And then we'll use that money to bring back another rocket with some more stuff to help us expand. And that is what we'll be doing in our next episode. So friends, we'll end off here. Definitely made a lot of progress. We got our dome built. This is great. The first of our dome services and people. Let's zoom right in and see them. It's kind of cool, eh? Hello. So lots more of this to come, and our dome will get bigger and better. Very excited. Okay, guys, drop me a comment. Let me know what you think. Are we headed in the right direction? Have you lost faith, or are we still good to go? All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Oop, this is done. Let me So just kind of like a little quick thing here. So I'm going to salvage that, and we'll decommission it later. We'll put down another one later on, too. But this is just how it looks when it's not running. I could rebuild this, though, if I wanted to as well. Anyway, I'll save all this for the next episode. You guys are great. I'll see you again. Looking forward to reading the comments. Take care of yourselves.